obviously at this point you've worked with a lot of clients, and I'm sure there are times, working with various people, there's people who just don't get it, or maybe you're working with people who maybe aren't creatively inclined, but because they're on like whatever business team or whoever, you have to work with them. So like, what are some of those strategies for breaking through to someone when you've got this idea that's going to help them, but maybe they're just not seeing it? Like, how do you bridge that gap in those instances?
That's a really great question. And one of the things that I really kind of drill down on in the program is the difference between helping a client get on board with a creative idea and manipulating them, right? You don't want to do that second piece, because if you don't approach this authentically, it's never going to work. They might be on board for a little bit, but the second it doesn't quite perform well enough or in the way that they need it to, the second they will drop it like a hot potato. So you've got to approach this in an authentic way. And the best way of getting a client on board is to understand what their goals are. And by that, I don't just mean they need to increase sales or they need to increase brand reach or whatever. Like, why? Why do you need to increase sales? Why do you need to get more people? Who are the people that you need to get buying this specifically? And what are their problems? What are the users' pain points, or what are your customers' pain points? And really dig down into finding out what that story is on an emotional level. Why does this client need a new app for pet DNA? Or why does this person need to buy this sneaker as opposed to another sneakers? Is it just the sort of visual appearance of it? Is there some physical beneficial help in training? Like, what is it? Why is your product, service, brand the thing that these people need, and why do they need it? So when you really drill down with them, three things happen, actually. One, that client sees that you're invested, sees that you want to understand on a really granular level what they're trying to achieve and why they're trying to achieve it. Two, that client, as they're explaining it to you, becomes the expert. You allow them to impart their expert knowledge in their field, their industry, their service, their brand, their product, whatever it may be. Makes them feel good, makes them feel heard. Now, don't believe that that's manipulative. That's part of your job to hear them. But if that's a happy byproduct of that, that's going to help you connect with the client. And then when you get to that point, like I was saying earlier about remove the guardrails and let creativity kind of soar, get the client involved in those conversations. And it doesn't matter if the client is creative or not. It doesn't matter if the client is in a creative role or not. Get them involved in those conversations. Everybody has ideas. Everybody can contribute to a creative session. They don't have to be able to draw. They don't have to be able to code. They don't have to be able to write copy, but they can have ideas and they can feed into that. And when you then do that second piece of refining the ideas to budget or technical feasibility or whatever it is, get the client involved in that again as well. And what will happen is two things. One, they will, in that big brainstorming session, they will have seen the benefit of spending a little bit more or going slightly bigger with the idea or whatever it is. And so when you then come back to applying the guardrails, maybe they'll unlock a bit more budget for you because maybe they'll see the benefit in it, but they will also definitely have some ownership in the idea. So when the TV commercial airs, they'll be like, hey, that bit with the ladder, that was my bit. I said that to their friends or their family or what have you, and they suddenly have ownership in it. And that's when they buy into the idea. And they buy into an idea that is authentically hitting all the right beats for the target that they need to get.